The Hardanger fiddle, born in the valleys of Norway, sings with both strings you see and secret ones that echo beneath. Its sound is haunting, layered, but before it can sing, it must be built, shaped by hand, carved with patience, and adorned with delicate inlay. Every curve and every string connects us back to a tradition that still breathes through the work of the luthier. And it all begins here, with wood, tools, and steady hands.
My name is Bevan Wulfenstein, and I'm a luthier, and I specialize in building Baroque instruments. I love making these instruments because of all of the artwork that's in them. I love doing all the design work. I love doing all of the inlay work. They're very personal instruments. Every instrument is unique. I build these Hardanger fiddles, and these are a Norwegian instrument, the national instrument of Norway. It has a shorter neck than a violin has, about an inch shorter. This also has harmonics on it, or drone strings. This instrument has 9 strings. So it has 4 strings that are played with a bow, like a violin, and it has 5 strings that are drone strings that resonate to the harmonic vibrations of the top strings. Very typical for a Hardanger fiddle is this F-hole design. No other instruments will have an F-hole design that goes in from the side this way. These hooks that go across the top where the strings attach, on a violin they don't, they go down through the tailpiece, but on a Hardanger fiddle it has these metal hooks. There's a channel that goes underneath this fingerboard for these understrings, and so there's a nut right here for the overstrings, and there's a second nut for the understrings. So you've got 2 layers of strings. These first strings right here are the overstrings, and they are in the same order as they would be on a violin, but they're tuned differently. It has more than 24 different tunings, but the most common one would be A, D, A, E for the top strings. And then these 5 strings back here, depending on what the top strings are tuned to, there's different tunings for the understrings as well. Typically with the music, the first measure would have the tuning, and then you would tune the instrument and then you would play it. Most of the time these instruments are not played with other instruments, they're played by themselves. When you build one of these instruments, they start off just like blocks of wood. It takes about 4 months to make one from start to finish. It's just a lot of processes. You start off with traditional woods for violin making. This is a piece of maple. This would be used for making the neck. This is a Hardanger fiddle neck that's been cut out, started out looking like this. Your other woods look like this. This is the top wood. This is book matched, so one side is the mirror image of the other, and it's glued together like this. This forms the top of the instrument. That's how it starts out. This is the back. Maple is used traditionally for the back of fiddles because of its resonant quality, reflective quality. So this is a piece of slab cut maple, and these are the ribs. The ribs start out looking like this. They're just cut from strips of maple, and then they're worked down till they're very thin, and then they're bent. And I use a bending iron and bending straps to get the shape. This is a mold to get the shape of the instrument. This mold would have corner blocks in it. These maple pieces would be bent and glued to those corner blocks. And that's how you get the shape of the instrument. Once you get the shape, then you can carve the back. This is a back that is in process. It's been carved. This has to be hollowed out to very specific thicknesses. And there's different thicknesses in different areas of the back. This is a template that I use to figure out the graduation map. This is called a graduation map. Each area is a different thickness. So the thickest part is right here in the center. The thinnest part is out here on the edge, and there's concentric circles. And that helps direct the sound as it resonates inside the instrument. Some other things that I have here are tools that I use. These are called gravers. I use this for engraving mother of pearl in the designs. These are some chisels that I use. This particular chisel is a V chisel, and I used that to make this main design on the back of this neck. So I'll just take this chisel and make that pattern. This is called a peg reamer. Pegs are on a taper, which means that it has a smaller end at the top, and then it's a little thicker towards the back, and that allows it to stick and hold tight, but it won't stick to where you can't move it. so you can tighten your pegs. So this is a peg shaper. So you put your peg in there like that, and you can turn it around like a pencil sharpener, and that'll get your taper just exactly right. And then this is the opposite for the hole. So you would stick this in the hole and carve the hole shape so it matches that taper perfectly. This is a little tool that I use to get this little design that goes around the edge of the instrument. I can lay that on there and mark exactly where those designs need to go. Or in this case, this one has mother of pearl that's inlaid around it, and I'll use this tool to measure exactly where the mother of pearl needs to go around the edge of the instrument. These are some inlay materials. This is a piece of bone. This is camel bone, and I use the camel bone for the nuts and for the saddles and for some inlay. These are different types of mother of pearl. This is gold mother of pearl, white mother of pearl, pink sea snail, and I've got some abalone. And then I have a piece of ivory. This is mammoth ivory. Those are the traditional inlay materials that I use. And then this is a piece of ebony. The ebony is used for the fingerboard and for the tailpiece and for the pegs. These are a couple that I'm making right now. These are in process, and I just finished putting the rosing on them. These designs on here are called rosing or rose malling, and these are put on with India ink and quill pens. These are very traditional floral type designs. The customers that buy these get to choose the color, and they get to choose the design that's on them, and they participate in the design process.
As we leave this workshop, we thank Bevan Wulfenstein for sharing his craft and keeping alive the tradition of the Hardanger fiddle. His skill, patience, and artistry remind us that history is in the hands of those who carry it forward. The past isn't just dates and documents. It's people, creating beauty that still resonates today. We hope you will join us again.